Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here this afternoon with Bailey and Rich, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Bailey's ability to understand and respond to her formal on-leash obedience commands. The correction and the motivation that we give the puppies when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Rich is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded neatly in his right hand. That leaves his left hand free to give any correction that's needed, and the only correction that we give is a little tug and release on the training collar. That is the second piece of equipment that we're using, and you're going to be introduced to your training equipment tomorrow during your follow-up training session. Now, Bailey is sitting very nicely at Rich's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done, and the first exercise that we're going to be demonstrating for you is heeling. Heeling is very important with your larger breeds. It's proper leash walking, and the command is Bailey, heel. Now at this point, Bailey has a job to do, and that is to maintain pace with you when you're walking. She should not be forging ahead or dragging you down the street, but she should be walking at your pace. And each time that you stop your feet, Bailey has been taught to sit automatically without being told to wait for her next command. So when you're walking with her, if you want to speed up or slow down or change direction, she should do the same. And when you stop to cross traffic or talk to a neighbor, she should sit nicely at your left, paying attention to you, and wait for her next command. And the next command that we're going to demonstrate is the sit stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and it is a stationary exercise, so you do not use her name. This is an exercise for helping to develop her self-control and maturity. You want to practice indoors as well as outdoors. When Rich returns back to her, he walks all the way around her. He stops at her shoulders where they started, and then she expects to get the next command, and he tells her to heel again. Now, obedience training works two ways. It gives you a dog that understands and responds to commands. It also gives her something to do with what's between her ears. It gives you a calmer dog with more self-control. And she's very bright, so she needs this stimulation. This time, instead of returning to her, Rich is going to call her. She should come right in front and sit facing your knees. No more jumping. And then she goes back to heel and back sitting. That was perfect. We're having to abbreviate our videos a little bit because of this intense heat, and the dogs are used to being in air conditioning, so they melt out here. It is ridiculously hot. Nice automatic sit. Another sit stay. Rich calls her in again, has her sit, has her go back to heel and back sitting. Very good. So as you can see, she's not a dummy. She's a very smart girl. And on a good day where it's not quite so hot, she's really eager to please. Now, the next command that we're going to be demonstrating for you is your down from a heel position. So with the dog seated at heel, you take your left open palm, push it straight down toward the ground, and use the one-word command to down and stay. Practice your stationary commands right in your house. Your long down stay, you're going to work all the way up to 5 minutes. When Rich returns back to her, again, he walks all the way around her. That's an additional distraction. He returns to her shoulders, then stops, and then he gives her the next command. Now, technically, he could do anything at that point. He could tell her to stay again. He could tell her to heel, which he did. But when you get back to those shoulders, you have to tell her what you're going to do next. Nice automatic sit. Always have her seated before you attempt to put her into a down stay. And you can do this right in your living room in the air conditioning. We do our videos outside so you can see everything that she's learned. Rich calls her out of that down stay. She comes right in and sits. And then she goes back to heel. And back sitting. Good girl. She's a trooper. The only advantage we have back here is that it is shaded. Now the next command that we're going to demonstrate for you is probably the most difficult. That is your down from a distance. So Rich is going to leave her in a sit stay. He's going to turn to face her. He's going to use his right hand to give the command, and she drops easily into a down from a distance. And with that command, you're going to lengthen out time and distance as well. Now, we have demonstrated for you quickly all of the formal on-leash obedience commands that Bailey has learned since she's been here with us at school. She's done a fabulous job, and you gave us a great dog to work with. We've enjoyed every minute of having her here with us, and we will see you soon. Thank you again for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.